movers and shakers, they cast him out to the forsaken. Where are you now? Lady of the lake, left the sinner wait. It was more than we could take.
Okay, making motorcycle videos again. I'm up here in Green Valley and just pulled off to the side of the road. Gonna do a little walk around to the bike. Just got this with 900 miles on it. It's a 2016 Triumph Thruxton R. And this is the 1200cc engine. And it's in silver. And this is the first year of this generation, if I'm not mistaken. And I've put a couple hundred miles on it since I've gotten it. It's an awesome bike, definitely the best one I've ridden so far out of the bikes that I've had. I think it's a perfect balance between just power and maneuverability. I had a Lowrider S, that was the last bike I had, the Harley. You can see that in previous videos. That had a good amount of punch to it, and it was really comfortable for longer rides, but it definitely lacked in you know, the handling compared to sport bikes or something like this. So this has plenty of power, especially for the weight, and it's also super flickable, so it handles like a sport bike, but it's got all the grunt. It's not particularly comfortable for longer rides, but I'm going to throw on a different seat eventually. So I'll just do a little walk around right now. I haven't done anything to the bike yet, but it did come with a few things that I wanted to point out that the previous owner had put on. It's just a couple things, but first I'll just talk about what the bike comes with stock. So we already talked about the engine. Now there's the Thruxton, and then the Thruxton R, and now there's the Thruxton RS as well, but at this point in time in 2016 it was just the Thruxton R. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but to the best of my knowledge, the Thruxton R is different than the Thruxton in that it has front and rear adjustable suspension. That's it as far as performance goes, I believe. My dad has the Thruxton, you can see in the previous video, that's a 2017. So cosmetically there's a lot of differences, but this does have the front and rear adjustable suspension. So here's the rear, the Öhlins, and then we've got the Showa forks here in the front. Now cosmetically, what's different other than the visual suspension difference here is on the Thruxton R you have this tank strap running down there. And then where the bars are mounted here on the top, this is chrome, whereas on the just the regular Thruxton I believe it's black. So there are a few differences. Like on my dad's Thruxton, I think the mirrors are chromed out. So there's just, they kind of swapped a few different things. But I really love this color. This was the color I was looking for. Just kind of that raw silver. And then, oh, the other performance difference. The Thruxton R has the Brembo brakes up front here. So that's definitely something you would notice. And we just took a ride here in the canyon. That was kind of the first time I took it through the twisties, and Super fun, just tons of power, super flickable, feels super planted, just like low center of gravity. Amazing bike. Now, what was done to the bike when I got it was, and I didn't even notice it till I got here because I got this out of state and then I had it shipped, was the previous owner had thrown some slip-on exhaust on. So this is a cone exhaust. To the best of my knowledge, it's a slip-on, as opposed to a full exhaust system. Doesn't really matter to me because there's plenty of power here. I'm probably not going to be tuning this bike or anything. So really I would just put a slip-on exhaust on just to increase the sound. So I have more of a presence on the road. Makes it a little bit safer. And so I'm super stoked that I didn't have to do that because this is a pretty expensive exhaust from what I know. Around $700-800 for these slip-ons from what I saw online. And makes a great sound, super throaty, super deep, and stoked that I don't have to do that. So that's already there. And then the other thing was these risers for the handlebars. So I'll try and get a good shot here, but you can see that black part here, that is Aftermarket. And so previous owner obviously wanted a little bit more comfortable riding position, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it when I got it, but honestly it's only a little bit higher than stock, and it feels great. And what's sick about these is they're fully adjustable, so I can actually bring these bars all the way back down to here if I want, make it real low again if I'm feeling super sporty. But the way it is now, it's quite comfortable and I've enjoyed it, so no complaints. So those were two kind of unexpected mods that were already there that one, I don't feel like I have to remove because I like them, and two, they're just kind of tastefully done. So yeah, don't have to, they add to the bike, don't really change the look too much, and yeah, I have no problem with keeping this bike just looking the way it is. And in the past I'd always be quick to take off this rear fender on any bike, but this silver part actually does not look bad. You know, these lights are a little funky, so maybe eventually I'll tidy this up back here, but you know, I don't really care about that as much anymore. I did when I first started riding, but this bike just looks so good. You know, stoked to have it just the way it is. I'll give you a look here at the gauges. So I got the speed on the left, RPMs on the right, and let me see, I'll put the key in, show you the different modes. Got another biker coming up here in a second. So we got miles, and then you can just cycle through. It's got clock and, you know, trip A, trip B. And then you have 3 riding modes. You have road, rain, and sport. And sport's just the throttle response is way quicker, so it's gnarly. But I've just been riding in road. So another thing that was added by the previous owner were these horns, which are pretty funny. These are super loud. It's basically like having a car horn on your bike. So I usually just rev if I need to get someone's attention, but it's kind of funny having these. Show you. Super loud. Oh, yeah, and the passenger pegs were already here. I don't know if that comes stock with the Thruxton R. Because you have this cowl here, but you can take this cowl off. But just from looking at the shape of the seat underneath, this doesn't look like a proper 2-up seat because it's sloped down like that. So if someone's sitting on, they're just going to feel like they're falling off the back the whole time. So I don't know if he added these and had a different seat that he would swap out or what, but I'm stoked that this is here because now all I have to do is just get a different seat and then I'll be good. And these look identical to the rider pegs, so all matches. It's good. So it's kind of a quick look at the bike. And now we're gonna ride back down around the reservoir, and then we're going down Bouquet Canyon back into Santa Clarita. Okay, and so I'll show you just kind of the scale of the bike here. I'm about 5'11", and my feet touch the ground pretty well. Have a little bit of bend in the knee still when I'm sitting, and the tank is super narrow where your legs are, so you can really tuck in there. It's just a great bike. I love this thing. Yeah, so it's kind of some scale for you. And then the riding position, like I said, it's good. It's for the style of this bike, it's pretty upright, pretty comfortable. The only downside is this seat. After riding for about an hour and a half, it's pretty uncomfortable, so I'm looking forward to swapping that out, especially for 2-up riding.